Today on the podcast, we're talking Northlandia, crashing weddings, and the Rhino. This is the Kansas City Podcast. Welcome to the Kansas City Podcast. I'm your host, Cole Lindbergh. You know, many of you know me as your brother from another mother. And if not, it's nice to meet you. Welcome to the Kansas City Podcast, the first episode of 2018. Happy New Year. And here's what I have done. I was saying to myself, I sat back, I said, you know, it's the new year. It's a time to think about the world, think about my place in it. Think about the excitement that surrounds my life. And then I said, oh, wait, I got to do a podcast episode. And I said to myself, you know what I think we should do? We should start the new year off right. We should go find that individual that is going to kick off the new year for us here at the Kansas City Podcast. And so now I have ventured back down to North Kansas City. I have found my way to a nice room that is clean and it is not a mess, it's not a disaster, and I have found our old friend Ben Wendt. Ben Wendt, welcome back to the Kansas City Podcast.
Hey, Internet, how's it going?
Ben, that you've been on. You're our first ever return guest.
I am deeply honored by that. By the way,
I am glad that you were deeply honored. I think that it is fantastic to have you here. You know, your episode when we talked what I'm excited to talk to you about today is because when we talked last time, there was so much happening here.
The room we are currently sitting in was under construction.
That's right.
The last time that we talked
in it. And so now it's like not under construction. You can actually walk around in it. Yeah. It's nice. But when I've gone out and talked to people, okay, and I've talked to stand-up comedians and I've talked to a lot of people around, and everyone has always said nothing but great things about the Rhino. And about coming here and seeing a show or trying some of the beer, because that's a thing now. So when I was here last time, the beer was like a couple weeks away.
That's right.
You know, like they were just like I remember you taking me in the back, and they were just starting to like put the pipes together and stuff. So let's talk about. It's been 6 months. 6 months exactly, almost. Yeah, July. Yeah, 6 months. Let's talk about where the Rhino is now. How you are actually officially have a title now?
I am the production manager or PM of the Rhino.
Okay, great. Because you work many nights, so PM.
PM, exactly. I work nights, and I am the prime minister as well.
Exactly, true.
So it's just all encompassing. I'm the kind of Tylenol that makes you sleepy.
The Rhino is a country now.
Right, yeah. Well, we have seceded.
Okay.
But, so... we have really grown a lot since July. I think when we last spoke, we were about to have our very first show ever, right? We hadn't even officially started. So we are to the point now we're having live music someplace between 5 and 7 nights every single week. We also do live comedy. We have opened the brewery, Colony Handcrafted Ales. My friend Rodney Beagle has been running that. We tap a new beer basically every single week. We've opened a kitchen.
Every week?
Every single week we tap a new beer.
Whoa.
Yes, absolutely.
Nice.
And they're always just a little bit quirky. They're always a little bit different. And one thing that's been really fun for me, I majored in creative writing in college. Mm-hmm. So I obviously haven't used my degree for anything.
Yeah, that's fine.
I was I'd like to major in unemployment.
I had a major in literature, language, and writing.
There you go.
So
okay,
there we go.
You feel my plight.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I've actually gotten a chance to use my major recently because I'm involved in the process of naming the beers. So that's been very rewarding and fun for me.
So you put all the names in a hat, you draw them out, and say that's the one.
Just bad hop puns and just pull them out. Optimus Prime, that's a great idea.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Put that on a label.
Our good friend Jason has opened a kitchen. It's called Bearded Man's Kitchen, and it's wonderful food. I would call it a unique take on traditional pub food. There are lots of burritos and sandwiches stuffed with ingredients that you're familiar with, but not necessarily inside of a burrito or a sandwich, such as the buffalo chicken burrito. Fabulous stuff.
Cool. Okay. Fantastic.
Yes.
So now, with all that going on, and you being the prime minister of the Rhino,
right.
Is there anything, one thing that we talked a bunch about last time was open mic night. So how you wanted that to be kind of like a very, getting local musicians out here. Really, I think you even called it the Song Lab, things like that. So why don't we go through and we'll try to hit all the basics of ones that we had talked about in the past. See what's that. So let's start with there. So how is it? You were very passionate about this open mic night.
I was and am, and Song Lab
you still are.
Has grown so rapidly. I am absolutely floored by it. It's every single Monday at 7:30 approximately, and we've got to the point now where every single week we go slightly over on time. We run out of time for artists to perform because there's so many people coming every single week. Usually at least 10 or 12 performers coming to play 2 or 3 songs, and it's awesome because there's a weekly community that comes every single week, but there's also a core community that kind of peek in every 4 or 5 weeks, drop in with a new song, drop in on a new take on a song that you heard 5-6 weeks ago. And it's been really incredible to watch these local musicians workshop their new material in front of a safe audience and just get honest feedback from people who understand what it's like to be on the other side of that. It's really incredible.
That's awesome. So every Monday, that's still going on. That's because, a lot of times open mic nights will die out and people will stop coming, but it sounds like it's growing
kind of
for
just
you.
Keeps growing, actually, yes. And I'd say that one thing that's worked out really well with it is it's almost like a farm system for booking shows.
Okay.
If you don't know me and I don't know you, and you come to a couple of Song Labs and I see that you totally kick butt, then of course I'm going to work with you to get a Thursday, Friday, Saturday night show going. There's this really great guy, Josh Garrett, who performs as Gray Eyes, who started showing up to mic nights, and he hadn't performed in a while, and he got up on the stage and just crushed it. And just kind of you could watch as his confidence kept growing. He kept busting out these new songs and showing us new verses on old songs. And now he's got a show coming up in a few weeks with Instant Karma. And that happened because he met me, he approached me, he took the initiative to come and establish himself. And now we've got an awesome relationship going forward. And that just makes me incredibly happy because it's this very safe space for artists to come together and meet and network, and that just absolutely rules.
So aside from the local stuff,
yes.
because if you're booking local bands, and you're when we last spoke, there were a lot of time, the shows were just starting up,
yes.
and you were trying to get touring bands, and you're trying to get, people here. So how has that grown? Has that continued? You said there's 5-7 nights a week.
Has.
I mean,
right. So, we are showing local acts, touring bands, combination, and we're starting to actually get some names. A few months back, we had Head North and Free Throw come, and that was really great. That was through a guy named Seth Keene, who's a promoter out of Springfield, and he came to us with that package, and that was awesome. Those 2 bands are great. I'd say keep an eye out for them. Fans of Taking Back Sunday and that kind of emo pop punk sound.
Yeah.
Those guys were incredible. We've got the Lillingtons coming on the 20th. They're from Fat Records. They're a pop punk kind of skate punk band. They're playing. It's January 20th. You can bring your skateboard.
Okay,
I don't
great.
know if you can ride it inside legally, but you can bring it here.
Okay.
$12 tickets in advance, $15 at the door. That show is going to be incredible. What's really cool, actually, in the green room, we have the Lillingtons poster on the wall.
Nice.
And that has been on the wall since we decorated about 5 months ago. That's not something we went and bought to suck up to them. One of the owners, Zach Henderson, is a lifelong diehard Lillingtons fan, and now they're going to be playing at his music venue. How cool is that?
So it's dreams come true, really, is what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
That is fantastically awesome. Okay, now, here's the one thing I want to ask you about, because I know that you have also done some pretty crazy, some interesting events, I'm going to say, because, it's the new year. Are you feeling good about the new year?
I feel great about the new year because we ended 2017 on an amazing note and started 2018.
So let me tell you how I found out about this.
Yeah, please.
Because I saw I don't remember if it was a Facebook message or something like that, and I think all it said is want to crash a wedding, maybe? or something to that effect. And I was just like, wait a minute, what? And so for New Year's Eve, I've never heard anyone ever do this before. You basically threw a party that was crash a fake wedding.
Yes, we threw a fake wedding. We had a bride and a groom and a best man and a maid of honor, and we threw a full wedding with a cake and food and DJ Salinger, the best DJ in the city, I think. It's me.
I know.
And it was so incredibly fun. Everybody got out and jumped around and danced to Gangnam Style and
Oppa Gangnam Style.
Oh yeah, and we did bouquet toss. It was incredible. It was
there toast?
Wonderful.
I heard it was a toast contest. Did that happen?
The toast. We didn't have the full toast contest. We had one. We had a couple toasts, but basically, once the dancing got really going, nobody wanted to stop. And DJ Salinger, he doesn't stop spinning that. People are dancing.
Yeah, DJ Salinger DJ Salinger, he actually mixes live. He doesn't just hit shuffle on his iPod.
That's a fact, actually. Yeah, DJ Salinger is all about those mashups.
So you had all these people here for New Year's Eve.
Yes.
It was a wedding.
Yes.
It was Did people dress up?
Absolutely.
That's incredible.
Well, part of what we asked, so my buddy Drew Cobb was one of the owners. His dad, I think, was watching Wedding Crashers and was like, wouldn't it be fun to crash a wedding? And Drew had like a light bulb go over his head cartoonishly, and he said, what if we threw a fake wedding? Yeah. And we'd been talking about New Year's Eve. We were like, we want to come up with some party where, like, if people want to dress up and look nice for New Year's Eve, there's a good excuse.
Right.
And we'd been having that conversation. He came and we were like, oh my gosh, we have to throw a fake wedding. And then people absolutely have an excuse to dress up. There's an excuse to have champagne.
Yeah.
Cake, the whole 9 yards. But
so the
it was wonderful.
Your bride and groom that was all fake too. It wasn't like
they're a real couple, but they did not actually get married for that event.
I was wondering if there was some like ploy in there. They're like, we're gonna get the Rhino to throw our wedding, and then just invite all these people we don't know.
We did have one friend who proposed this crazy conspiracy theory that in the middle of it, we were going to have an actor object to the wedding and then have it fall apart, and then have secret undercover actors stand up and be like, well, there's already all this stuff for a wedding here. We should get married, and then actually get married.
So you basically were there for a minute. You were like, okay, this is going to be a big performance art piece.
Yeah. We considered.
You considered, but then in the end, it was just like, you know what? We got DJ Salinger.
Yeah, so I think it was great because I think that people who wanted to like buy into it were going up to the bride and groom like, oh my gosh, do you remember college, blah, blah, blah. And then people who weren't as into it were like, I'm going to have some cake and watch people do the cha-cha slide.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Right after Gangnam Style. After Gangnam
that,
Style.
To be frank, that was the song that got the party going. I mean,
a Gangnam Style?
Oh yeah, man. Psy, he crushes it.
If Psy ever comes, I want Psy to go on an American tour. I would gladly pay tickets to see that show.
Absolutely. And then I would love for like 96.5 The Buzz to do a Kegs and Eggs at the Rhino with Psy.
With Psy.
Do like an acoustic set.
Yeah.
Oppa Gangnam Style. Or, but it's like an acoustic guitar.
Like, hey,
someone pulls out a harmonica. Yeah.
Sexy lady. Yeah. Okay. I think I'll come to the Song Lab and perform that for you.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Do you got any other crazy ideas coming up or anything else that you were like, oh, this should be like what we should do, and then it didn't work out? Or you got any big pie in the sky ideas
I'm
for
working on
events
this idea for Valentine's Day.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
So there's this
Love is in the
episode
air,
of
my
How
friend.
I Met Your Mother where one of the main characters, Ted, he wants to date this woman who's too busy to go on dates. So he sets up this 15-minute series of micro dates, and they go on like 10 dates and like during her lunch break.
Okay.
And I am going to attempt to orchestrate a Valentine's Day party where people can come to Colony in the Rhino and go on approximately 10 or 15 micro dates on their date. So you come here, you can do coffee, you can do dinner, you can do drinks, you can do dessert, you can see part of a movie. I haven't worked out all the details yet. Keep your eyes posted, but I have the idea in my head. Now I'm determined, and it's going to happen in some capacity. And my idea is, you've only got the babysitter for 2 hours, or you guys have weird work schedules, so you only have an hour and a half to see each other. You could still do it all. You can still have so many wonderful Valentine's memories all in one place. So
see, I like that.
It'll happen.
Let's. One other thing we talked about for quite a while.
Yes.
The last time we spoke was about the craziness of North Kansas City.
Yeah.
And North Kansas City continuing, I remember very specifically you said, you know what, once we fill all the buildings here, we're going to start building higher.
I believe that to be true.
Yeah, you should say that. How do you feel now, 6 months later? Is there more craziness now than ever? I feel like there is.
I think there absolutely is. And I think actually the biggest thing that's changed since we opened, when we first had our first few concerts, I was blown away by the number of Southerners from the other side of the pond.
The other river. The people from the other river.
Things like, oh, wow, you guys aren't that far away. Oh, wow, I thought you guys were up by the airport. When I hear north of the river, I think Zona Rosa.
Right.
And it was very rewarding to very quickly see how many people were like, I'm going to come back all the time. You guys are closer to my house than Waldo is, and I think we all get in preconceived notions about all sorts of facets of life, but certainly geography and our own local geography, where we decide certain things are close, certain things are far,
right?
And I think that if you don't venture to certain parts of the city, it's very easy to label them as other or too far. And it's not to say that you won't ever go there, but you're only going to go there if there's like a really, really good excuse to go there. And I do think our mission has continued to be a really, really good excuse to go there.
To go north, yes.
And I think that Chicken and Pickle and Cinderblock and Screenland Armor and all these awesome local businesses around here, I think that because you've got this tight-knit community of really just hustling, hardworking local business owners, Repeal 18, that are putting out a superior product to certain places that are maybe a little bit closer. But you're talking about, it's 2018 now.
Yes, it is.
Closer, 3 minutes closer in a car, that's not a big deal. Go where you want to go. And if that's 3 minutes further north, then whatever, it's a bridge.
What do you think of the term Northlandia?
How do you feel about it? I'm on board with it. We've leaned into it a bit.
Where did it start? I heard it recently.
I believe that Joe Gower developed that statement. He's very active in the North Kansas City business scene. He actually doesn't own a local business, but he is like the Casey Wolf of North Kansas City.
He's wolf?
He only at new moons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only midnight?
He's a teen wolf, so it's weird because he just like starts going through puberty. His voice starts cracking, but he gets really hairy. I didn't see that movie.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works. That was the plot.
He really is. He's like the mascot of North Kansas City, and he organizes these awesome pub crawls, and he has just done an incredible job of making sure that people in North Kansas City and in other parts of the city understand just how synchronized the whole organism of North Kansas City is.
So you feel good about Northlandia? At first, when I heard it, I was like,
it's cheesy. I get the aversion to it. I mean, I don't think that it works as actually labeling North Kansas City as Northlandia, but I think it works if you're just saying it in kind of a cutesy, silly way. Like, let's go up to Northlandia. Yeah, that works. But if you're like, I don't think at any point in time it's going to overthrow just the Northland or North Kansas City.
Well, you put a bird on it.
Yeah. It's right. It's leaning into the hipster nature of that.
Well, no, and there's nothing wrong with that because I feel like that's kind of the what would you agree with the aesthetic? Maybe is.
I think for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I think that there is a Portlandia kind of vibe up here, and I think we're leaning into it.
Okay. Favorite beer that Colony has brewed? What would you recommend for folks coming out here if they want to try the brews?
Sure. So what's a little bit difficult about this is that since we're doing so many rotating beers, a lot of the beers that I've loved aren't coming back or aren't coming back for a year.
What's the favorite one that you've written for? That you've got a name.
Oh, that I'm like the most proud of name-wise?
Yeah.
We had a Mad Tea Ale that was a sour tea berry ale called Hatter and Hare, and I thought that was a good name.
Okay, that's a good name. You did good. Good job. That degree paid off.
Yeah, right. I'm so glad I'm drowning in debt for that. I'm trying to think, man. We've had some really good ones. Well, because here's my problem is now I'm like answering two different questions. So like my favorite.
You start with your favorite.
My favorite one's to taste. Okay. We have a rotating hazy IPA series called Shuttle Hop, and they are different attempts at interpreting the Northeast New England IPA style, which is hazy and very citrusy. And Rodney Beagle, our brewmaster, he's never content with just brewing a beer that someone's had before. So he's always going to try a different hop bouquet or a different variant. And Shuttle Hop number 2 was a particularly tropical take on that and had mango and papaya notes and was hoppy and citrusy, but not too hoppy, not too citrusy, not sour, and was my Goldilocks beer. It was just right.
Just right. Okay.
Just right. Shuttle Hop, I guess I'm proud of. I came up with that name.
Shuttle Hop, that's a good name.
Yeah, because like our logo is the shuttlecock from the Nelson Atkins Museum, but with a little hop on the end.
Brilliant.
Shuttle Hop.
Shuttle Hop.
Yeah.
Do you, so let's look to the future again.
Yes.
Let's say you and I meet up a year from now. and we talk again about the Rhino and the growth of North Kansas City, where do you see this going? What do you see happening here?
Sure. So,
Ben, I want you to look to 2019.
2019.
360 some odd 58 some odd days away.
Mike Pence is president. I think
the new everyone hated the Han Solo movie as much.
Everyone hated it, unfortunately. Yeah, Ron Howard is up for Best Director Academy Award.
Yeah.
So I do think that something that we would really like to see is a development of some recurring events that help our schedule seem a little bit less frantic to casual friends and fans of Colony and the Rhino. So what I mean is that we have a lot of spinning plates up in the air at any given time because we're a brewery and a coffee shop and a restaurant and a music venue and a comedy venue and a rehearsal space. And we've got all of these hats.
Yeah.
And we don't ever want that to be a bad thing. We try so hard to make sure that adding a music venue doesn't take away from the coffee shop and that adding a brewery doesn't take away from the music venue. And I think that one thing that we're realizing is that when our schedule is a little bit more rigid and has a little bit more form to it, that it is a little bit easier on customers to understand. For example, one issue we've run into is that we often have a cover at the door. That is to pay our artists. We don't take that money. That money does not go to Colony of the Rhino. All of that money is going to the artists and the promotion of the show. And I can understand why, if you came here just hoping to get a cup of coffee, why you're a little bit annoyed that there's a $5 cover.
Right.
We have good intentions there. But we hear people when they have issues with that. And so we're working on that. And so, for example, Mondays, every single Monday is going to be Song Lab Music Open Mic Night. And then you kind of get the feeling of like, well, if I know I want to go try out Rodney's new beer at Colony, I could always go on a Monday night because there's never a cover on Monday nights.
Right.
And one of the things I've been really, really proud of is second Saturday of every month is Cream of the Crop, which is a comedy show. It was already an existing comedy show, in my opinion, the best comedy show in the city. And it's run by Brandon Patrick and Jack Merriwell and Ryan Trickey. And they're three incredibly talented guys. And they had been doing it in the basement of a restaurant. And once we started doing comedy here, I kind of got in touch with Brandon, and I was like, hey, I'd love to poach your show.
I like to book it here, right?
And so we've relocated here. We've done it about 3 times now, and every second Saturday with, I guess like, technically everything's, pending, if Third Eye Blind are like, hey, we want to play the Rhino second Saturday, I'll be like, hey, sorry, we're going to do it third Saturday this month.
Right.
But in general, every second Saturday, we're doing Cream of the Crop, and there is... So we're adding some structure there, and that is that, if you want to come to the Rhino on a second Saturday, there's always going to be comedy. There's always going to be good comedy. And those guys are determined to make sure they're getting the best local comics, but also grabbing a ton of great touring acts. We had Mike Baldwin fairly recently, who is just absolutely incredible. And that's, I think, just going to keep building. I would not be surprised if 1 year from now, every second Saturday is truly sold out. This last time we did it, we had standing room only. We had about 75 people of our, on that side, basically 99 max capacity. And I would not be shocked if 1 year from now, every second Saturday at the Rhino is a completely sold out comedy show.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's my big claim.
Very nice.
That and Vice President Paul Ryan.
Yeah. Oh, God. I think I just threw up in my mouth. You know what, Ben? Here's what we're going to do. We are going to take a short break.
Let's do it.
And we'll be right back here on the Kansas City Podcast. Happy New Year. Happy 2018. 2018, the year of the cat. Or horse. I have no idea what 2018 is, but Happy New Year to you and yours. I hope you had a fantastic holiday. If you're like me, maybe you ate way too much food over Christmas and then you drank too much champagne on New Year's. If that is the case, then hi. Are we related? So it's 2018. The podcast, we're starting out strong. Brought back Ben Wendt today. We've got some great guests coming up in the following weeks, but I am tasking you once again to continue to share and subscribe and review and post about and talk about your favorite podcast, the Kansas City Podcast. I'm very excited about 2018. I think there's a lot of exciting things on the horizon for the show, and I appreciate you tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the best ofs, and happy 2018 from me, Cole, here at the Kansas City Podcast. All right, back to the show. Welcome back to the Kansas City Podcast. Cole Lindbergh, I'm here with Ben Wendt. We're here at the Rhino. Hi, Ben.
Hi.
You didn't say hi, Internet.
Oh, hey, the Internet. How's it going?
There you go.
That's my podcast introduction.
During the break, once again, I have gone out of my way. I've talked to Ben about, what it's going to take to book me on a show, to get me out of musical retirement. And
I have once again said partial nudity.
Yeah, and I don't feel comfortable with that yet, especially after all the cookies I ate during Christmas time. Did you get anything good for Christmas? Did you get any good gifts?
I got some great gifts. This is not a visual medium, but I am wearing these sick pink shoes.
Oh, wow.
That I kind of feel like are my spirit animal.
Yeah, those are pink Adidas.
Yeah, they're real. They're gazelles.
Only you could pull those off, honestly.
That is the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
Pink Adidas shoes for me, it's not going to go over well.
Yeah.
No.
Well, in the words of Run DMC, my Adidas.
What else? You got anything else good?
Well, truly is a cheesy answer, but I mean it. My daughter's almost 2, and she was just such a wonderful age for just the magic of Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
And watching her just get so hyped up. She loves watching other people open Christmas presents. And there was this moment where my younger brother opened a pair of socks, and she went, hooray! And it was awesome. It's like a top 5 all-time Christmas memory because there was just no irony to it at all. It was just from the bottom of her heart. And they were playing White Sox. Like, it was like the most boring Christmas gift you can imagine.
But because...
And she gave us a hearty hooray. Sorry if I just blew everybody's eardrums out.
So did she get to the point, too, where she was like the wrapping paper got more exciting than, like, the actual gifts?
There were a couple moments where she opened gifts and started, like, wearing the bag as a hat. And yeah.
Okay, so that's got to feel good. And
absolutely.
Santa came.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Christmas memories. I got some pants.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Pleated?
I don't know. Are these pleat? No.
No pleat.
No
Wow.
pleats. But they're kind of the slimming pants.
Yeah.
They're not real baggy. So I feel, I don't know.
Sleek.
I feel yes.
Wind resistant.
With the weather right now, I'm very wind resistant. It just flies right on by me. Now, Ben, here's the deal. You've already taken the Casey quiz.
I have.
You have. So if people were looking forward to the Casey quiz today, it's not going to happen.
Can I say real quick?
Yes.
I've listened to the recap episodes recently.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I think the all-time great Casey quiz answer was, what does Kansas City need? My buddy Allison Lassiter said soup.
Yeah.
And then introduced their concept of soup's on.
Yeah, that one took me by surprise.
I think, Allison, if you're listening to this, you've got an investor. And I am fully on board.
See, I am so not a soup person. As she was sitting there saying that, like, part of me was just like, "This is on a different level." I don't want to. I don't want to make anyone feel bad about the thing that, like. So I appreciate the insight into the world of soup.
She's given us so much thought.
But I am just not a soup guy.
And I just want to say, for summer, so I've got an idea: ice cream soup.
That sounds disgusting.
It's just melted ice cream.
What? Ugh. So here's the question I have for you. I'm not going to give you the KC quiz. We're going to do something different today.
Can I give you the KC quiz real quick?
Play
the theme song.
Okay, you get. I'll give you one question. No,
right.
2. How many you got?
I got one ready.
All right, 1. Okay, you get one question.
Boff, marry, kill. Mayor Sly James, Walt Disney, Slugger.
Oh man. Boff, marry, kill. I am going to. Ooh.
We all know what boff means.
Yeah. I know. I'm going to. Boff Slugger.
I get that.
Yeah.
Is it the bat?
It's the what?
Is it the bat?
Yep. And then I am going to marry Walt Disney.
You're gonna kill Sly James.
I'm going to kill... Wait, I have a specific reason for this.
This podcast just got flagged by...
I'm going to marry Walt
FBI.
Disney. I mean, Sly James is a great guy. I love to have him on the show. Hey, Sly. How you doing?
He was on the show?
No, I would love to have him on the show.
Please come on. Yeah.
It's not going to happen, but, but I feel like I'm looking long-term here in that if I married Walt Disney, I'd be getting all that Disney money, baby.
Yeah.
I would have investment in the Star Wars and the Marvel Cinematic
and now
Universe,
Avatar.
and now Fox. I would never have to do anything for the rest of my. So I'm doing it strictly for a financial gain perspective.
I respect that.
And then kill Sly James.
Yeah,
he's a great guy.
Yeah,
but I'm not going to change that answer until he comes on the show, and then I may adjust. I don't know if it's going to happen though.
I'll give you 15 points, which is the most I've ever given anybody for the KC quiz.
You will never give any other points ever again.
Thanks for giving me that moment. Let's take it out. Play the theme, please. All right, and we're back. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Now, here's what I was going to ask you.
Sorry, I stole your podcast.
I was going to ask you, do you have any questions that you want to amend from your past one? We talked about barbecue. We talked about your favorite place to see music.
I stand by Mount Smokemoore.
You stand by Mount Smokemoore.
I had Char Bar recently, and I continue to believe it is wildly underrated.
Okay.
I will just keep banging that drum. No, I stand by it.
You stand by it?
I think I stand by it. I haven't listened to the episode again, but I believe that my heart was true.
I didn't go back and listen to it, but you had some good answers on a lot of stuff, so I didn't think you were going to change anything.
Yeah.
But Ben, today,
okay,
we're going to, since you've taken the KC quiz for it, we're going to start a new game. A new little segment here on the show, if you will. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Ben Wendt's Kansas City.
It's your Kansas City. It's your Kansas City. It's your Kansas City. Kansas City.
I love that new song.
Oh, thank you. It took me a whole 5 minutes. Ben, welcome to your Kansas City. I am the almighty Kansas City God right now at this point. And Ben, I am tasking you. Yes, exactly. I am tasking you. You are officially now an ambassador of the city. How do you feel about this?
Honored.
Honored? All right, Ben, here's the deal. Tomorrow morning, I'm giving you a van. And I am taking you are driving in the van. You are going to pick up 4 special guests at the airport. And I am giving you unlimited funds. I'm giving you 24 hours to impress upon these people your Kansas City. You've got 24 hours starting at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Here's what you want these people to leave with. You want them to leave with a sense of satisfaction. You want them to leave with a sense of they saw the city. But more so than not, they want to see Ben Wendt's Kansas City.
Whoa.
How do you feel about this?
A little overwhelmed, but honored. I can make this happen.
All right, so here's the deal, Ben. I'm giving you the keys to the van. It's 8 a.m. You're picking them up.
At the airport?
At the airport. They're ready to go. They are excited. They want to see your Kansas City. Where do you head first, sir?
Okay. I think to make the most of the day,
they haven't had breakfast.
You gotta like make your way south, right?
Yeah. Okay,
so I don't know that there's anything that you know what? There's a pretty good breakfast place up north. Kate's Kitchen on North Oak Traffic Way.
All right.
So maybe we just kind of drive past Zona Rosa, show everybody. We're like, this is what's up here, but we're gonna go a little further south.
Okay.
And then we hit up Kate's Kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And then we brunch there, kind of hang out.
Yeah. You get to know these people.
Get to know them and find out what they like and then say, that's cool, I'm going to disregard that and show you what I like. And
You're
then
doing great so far. As
show
the
them
almighty God.
Show them a
here.
couple of fountains up north.
Oh, which ones?
I really like that fountain at the intersection of Vivian and North Oak. I can't think of the name of it.
Oh,
but
yeah,
they
yeah,
dye
yeah.
it color for the different sports and stuff like that.
And then when it's cold outside, it all
it
is
just
crazy.
looks like an igloo.
Yeah.
Like Elsa from Frozen's just dancing there, letting it go.
It.
Then I think we just kind of make our way south to North Kansas City.
Okay.
And then I think you spend the early morning and late afternoon in North Kansas City, catch a movie at Screen Lane Armor, which is the best movie theater in this city, and play some arcade games there. Come down to Colony, kind of see what the Rhino is. There's probably not a show going on, but you can get a great cup of coffee and hang out here. Maybe taste some of the Colony brews.
Okay.
And then...
So it's like, let's say it's like 2 o'clock now.
Cut down just a block, stick your head in, FM vintage music, say hi, swing by center block real quick, and glance at Chicken and Pickle. Probably don't have time for a game, unfortunately.
No
You're like,
game of
what is
pickleball?
pickleball? Watch from across the street, you'll get it.
Okay.
And now it's time to probably head south of the river. And I guess at this point in time, you kind of just drive past, but show off the River Market District.
Okay.
And if there's a good hockey game on a late afternoon, swing by Blue Line, and then you kind of drive past the West Bottom, say like, that's cool stuff, we're not knocking it, but we're running out of time.
Yeah.
Get down to Midtown, kind of cut, same thing with Power and Light District. This is the part where you're kind of like doing the express tour. You're like, look, these places are all fine. Maybe get out, take some photos around the Kauffman Center.
All right.
That's just beautiful architecture. It's
You're doing
stunning,
really well
and it's
here.
a great view of the city.
Yes.
Then hop in, hit up Crossroads for a little bit, but maybe we're going to come back here after the sun goes down. Make sure that you get to the World War I monument like right at sundown and just get this beautiful view of the city. I love it. You face north and you see the other side of the Kauffman Center. You see those weird Jetsons buildings above Bartle Hall, and you just take it all in. And then at that point in time, you probably cut across to Boulevard. And I know they're big and owned by a foreign entity, but they're still Kansas City through and through, in my opinion. And I think you check out that amazing beer hall and just kind of hang out there for a minute. Cut back to the Crossroads District. If it's about dinner time, maybe cut by Town Topic, grab yourself a greasy burger.
So you're not going to take them for barbecue?
Oh man, no, there's a separate trip.
Gosh. Oh, okay. Oh, that's
I
a
think
separate
I have
trip.
to because I think I've already mapped it out enough. Now I have to undo everything.
No. Okay, all right. So they go to Town Topic, you get a burger.
Yeah, and then
you look stressed out right now. You could calm down.
You
It's
just
okay.
freaked me out.
I know.
This
This hypothetical is driving you like up the wall. You're pulling your hair out.
So
you've got 10 hours left.
I do have 10 hours left. All right, then I think maybe Town Topic, you get like one burger to split between everybody.
Yeah.
And then you head south.
Wait, hold on. You have to take care of everyone.
I know, no. Because like I want them to get the experience.
Okay.
But it is more important to hit up Joe's KC.
Okay.
Okay? So you get Joe's KC. Maybe you kind of take a loop through the plaza just to like show that off. But you don't have time for the plaza. That's, yeah. I'm one of those.
Yeah.
And then, so you cut through the plaza, you hit up Joe's. Then you make your way back to the Crossroads District, and you hit up Tapcade, which is my favorite place in the city to hang out.
Yeah.
Play some video games, get some of their amazing wings, and then you just kind of hang out and enjoy each other's company. And I think ultimately at that point in time, you've had the Kansas City experience. I guess when you're doing like the express tour, you maybe stop at the library in Midtown. That's that awesome architecture with the books, and try to squeeze them some good photo ops. Hit up as many fountains as possible. This is the city of fountains.
Yes.
It is.
Yes, it's true. That is what we call it.
Sometimes I wish we had a cooler thing, but that's our thing. So you are what you are. You got to know that.
Yes.
And I still feel like I let them down. We didn't hit up as many places as I'd like to, but I think that if you're trying to cram it all in one day and still make sure they have an enjoyable time, when you're swinging by the plaza, you got to cut by the Nelson Atkins and get that lawn. Probably get out, take a photo at the shuttlecock. But yeah, then I think Tapcade's a fun place. If they're feeling like hanging out a little bit later, swing by Green Lady.
Okay.
And then get them back to the airport. Yeah.
Very nice. Ben Wendt.
I'm tired.
As the ambassador of the city, I just want to tell you, that was so unorganized. What are you doing? You didn't plan it. I wanted it by the hour, my friend.
Oh, no.
Oh, you just know. This is...
Oh, no.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Ben Wendt's Kansas City.
It's your Kansas City. It's your Kansas City. It's your Kansas City. Kansas City.
It's a pretty good theme song.
I think that is a good theme song. The chord progression is what does it for
I
me.
guess for me, when I was in my mind when I was thinking about this new segment, I didn't realize that I made it sound like it was a speed tour.
Well, I don't know that everyone would,
I need
but
some work on this.
I'm perpetually fueled by my anxiety. So
yes.
for me, it's like, you got to get it all in there.
Ben, I'm very sorry to
it's
put you
okay.
through such
It's okay.
pain and stuff. But maybe that segment will stick around.
Yeah.
Maybe not. It's always good to try new things.
Yeah.
as I like to say.
Agree with that.
And I didn't want to give you. My other thought is that I'll give you the Casey quiz, but it will be actually trivia questions of Kansas City. But then again, it's like
That'll just stress me out.
Yeah, then you'd be even more stressed out.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you giving people a glimpse into your Kansas City. It's very hectic.
It is. Yeah, that's what it's like in my brain.
Ben, here's the deal. We are nearing the end of our time
Okay.
today. It's been fantastic
I
speaking
agree.
with you again. I feel like I'm always excited to come back here. I'm always excited to see people doing exciting things.
Yeah.
I think everything you're doing here at the Rhino is fantastic and wonderful.
man.
And I think that I can't wait to come back again and see more and the progression and stuff. And I appreciate all that you've done to help promote the show and stuff. So there's no better
I
first...
love your podcast.
There's
so
no
it's
better
easy.
first guest coming back than you, sir.
Thank
so
you.
I
I'm
appreciate
honored.
it. You're
Yeah,
our first return.
I just while I have this opportunity, I just want to thank Drew Cobb and Zach Henderson, who are the owners of Colony the Rhino, for bringing me on and giving me this opportunity. It's truly the pleasure of my life to be able to have this ridiculous, weird job and to do it. So they rule for putting up with me and even giving me a chance.
So this is your time to plug the Rhino. What do you got coming up, my friend?
Man, I know I already said it, but Cream of the Crop, second Saturday of every month, an incredible comedy show for $10, and it's just going to keep getting bigger. So get your foot in the door while it's smaller, and then you can be like, oh yeah, I knew it before.
Oh yeah.
And Song Lab every Monday night at 7:30. That's just actually a dream come true. Whenever I was first introduced to the idea that Colony was adding a music venue, that minute I pitched the idea of the open mic to Zach and Drew, and they were like, I don't know. And so the fact that they let me roll the dice on that and try that makes me so happy. But yeah, every single Monday night, I love Mondays. I look forward to Mondays. I'm anti-Garfield. I just love it. And yeah,
you
Song
don't
Lab's the
have
reason.
a case of the Mondays.
I don't. Never.
You do not.
Well, I do, but it's like, yeah, got the Mondays.
It's the exciting Monday,
Yeah,
right? Okay.
twitchy, exciting Mondays.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show up one Monday night,
Please do.
and I'm going to play 2 songs, I'm gonna-
Gangnam Style.
Gangnam Style, and then like some old one from like who knows when. Maybe I'll pull out some of my old music,
Yeah,
and I'll
please
play a
do.
song for you,
Please do.
and it'll scare everyone. They will all leave, and I will officially shut down.
You want to be the one who? If someone's
Are
going
you
to kill
afraid that
Song
someone's
Lab,
going to do that?
I would rather have it be you than a stranger.
Okay, well, yeah,
Yeah.
because that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried that I could start playing and then people would get frightened and then
Yeah.
leave. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm worried about.
Great.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, yeah. If it has to end, I mean, all things got to end. So yeah. That seems like an ideal, fitting ending.
I appreciate you letting me be the one
Yeah.
to destroy the
Yeah.
thing that you love the most.
It's a privilege.
Remember, folks, you can always tweet us at Kansas City Pod. You can find me on Twitter at Cole Lindbergh. Once again, thank you to everyone. Happy New Year to you. It's so nice to be back here at the Rhino, like I
Yeah.
said, and hanging out with Ben. Make sure you check out our website, theKansasCityPodcast.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Kansas City Pod. Ben, thank you again for being on the show,
Thank you.
sir.
Peace out the internet. If you're interested in booking a show at the Rhino, hit me up at Ben Wendt is a writer at gmail.com. BenWendtisawriter at gmail.com.
I just realized that Ben Wendt is a writer because you are a creative writer.
Yeah.
How-
I made that Gmail before I realized that I would never be a writer.
I think you
Fresh
also
out of college.
and it's too late now to go back and try to claim your own name. So you've got to stick
and
with
unfortunately, Ben Wendt is a struggling writer. Was taken, so I just
Ben, thank you much.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys next week here on the Kansas City
Bye.
Podcast. Bye.